Are you tired of the 9-to-5 grind and dreaming of trading for a living? To date, I've actually been funded $800,000 with prop firms, and now we are helping others get funded and reach their trading goals too. In this video, I reveal the exact steps I took to building consistent income with trading, and I will show you how to do it too. Whether you are a complete beginner or you have some experience in trading, I'm going to show you how to create a sustainable plan, minimize your risk, and potentially even making enough to quit your day job. Don't miss out on this opportunity to take control of your financial future. With that being said, let's dive in. Okay, so at the surface, it's actually very simple, guys. All you need is a system that makes the same or more than your current job, and then you can get to a point that you can quit your job, right? So simple, but life unfortunately is not that easy, and there's a lot more that goes on under the surface that makes it very difficult to actually get to that point. So for that reason, let's just break this all down. Okay, so let's break it all down, guys. So this is somewhat of a kind of a plan of action that you would need to kind of follow to get to a point where you can actually say, okay, I'm making more than my day job and I can now use this system. So the first thing you need to understand is how much money do you need? And that means how much are you currently making with your day job? And is that enough? Is it just that you are not happy at your day job, but you're making enough? Then fine. You're just looking at, matching that amount. Or is it that your day job, you're not actually making enough and you're looking at making a little bit more? So figure out what your number is. For me, I'll be looking at, as a starting point, $5,000. $5,000 a month from my trading system would be enough for me to say, okay, I'm happy with that, and let's do this full time. And that's what it was when I actually was doing this system, and I am still doing this system. I'll be talking about that in a bit. So the next thing is, what is your edge, right? It's fine to say, okay, I know what I need now, but you need an edge to get there. What is an edge? It's a manual strategy or a system that has an edge on the market. This means that it's consistently making more than it's losing, and that's it. That's as simple as it is. You need a system that is consistently making more than it's losing, right? So in the long run, you are making money. So that's what your edge is. So the next thing, once you've got an edge, you would actually need capital. So this is one of the really important ones, guys, because even if you found your edge, you can't just go to the market and start trading, right? For me to actually get that $5,000 per month, let's say I am making about 5% a month with my edge, which is tough to do. It's not as easy as that, right? 5% a month. I would actually need $100,000 in a live trading account, and there's no ways I can actually afford to do that. So I don't have the capital to actually get to a point where I can make enough money for my day job. So what is the other option? And for me, the other option was prop firms. Prop firms was the best place that I could go to actually get enough capital that I could start using my edge with that capital to make enough money to quit my day job, right? And then finally, the next thing you need to look at is the time. How long is it going to take you to get your system to equal your current income? How long? So is it going to be a 5 month, 6 month, a year? And also the thing is, you are not going to quit your job the first month you make that $5,000. You're not going to say, okay, I've just made it, I'm quitting my job, because the next month you could fail and then you're screwed, right? So you would always have to basically run your system for month after month and make sure that every single month, on average, you're covering what your current wage or salary is. And the other thing you've got to make sure is you're also building up money in, some kind of savings, because you're doing this while you're working, right? So you're working, you're getting a wage, your current salary is paying for your day-to-day life. While you're doing this, everything you're making, because you've got an edge, you will be making money slowly. You're going to be putting in a savings. Keep putting that in a savings, because when you decide to say, okay, this is the day, you've got something like a little nest egg that you can use as a backup. Now, this is also an important place to say, guys, this is not financial advice. This is just educational. It's just theoretical. So please don't go quitting your day job and then blame me because you quit your day job. I know there's a lot of people out there that are looking for financial freedom, and this is just theoretical. It's just an idea. It's just a bit of fun. So it's very important that you guys understand that, and never, ever put in more money to any system that you are willing to lose. So never add money that you cannot afford to lose, okay? So very important, guys. This is not financial advice. So this is the breakdown. So I want to show you exactly what system I used, and I'm going to explain our system and the system I'm currently using and I'm still using to make that $5,000 every single month. So the system I use, my system that has an edge, is the prop farming blueprint. Here at Blue Edge Financial, we have the prop farming blueprint and we use an EA. So my system is using an EA, using a trading bot that trades on my behalf, because the thing I like about that is I'm also not putting in my own time. Once it's set up, it's trading on my behalf. So for a long time, I looked at EAs and I ended up stumbling across the Blue Edge one, and I've been with them for years. Now, back in the day, we had the same EA that we could trade one set file and it would either do well or it wouldn't. So, you know, it was good back in the day, but it was nowhere near as good as it is now. So basically this system, how it works is you have an EA that you install a set file and it trades on your behalf, and it either will pass the prop firm or fail the prop firm. And back in the day, you know, you would sometimes take 5-6 attempts to actually pass, and that would be quite psychologically tough. Okay, so I've just jumped over to a chart here. This is actually a live challenge that I've just started today to explain our system. As you can see, I've got the EA plugged into my chart here, and essentially what happens is this system will trade on your behalf. Now we have a leaderboard full of loads of different set files that you can choose from that are constantly being updated. These are being added by our own members and also being added by BEF optimizers. So people in the background who are constantly testing different things. So the cool thing about that is this system is always, you know, really good for current market conditions. It never is outdated. So whatever is happening in the market, we're doing back test and testing for that. So you know that the set files that are currently working for market conditions as they are now. So that's the great thing about this. So you would essentially download your set file, you choose, you have so much information here. You can look at the overall pass rate, the average days, average trade volume, all of that kind of stuff. You would select your set file, plug it in, and then you would let it play, right? And then it would either pass or fail. But one thing that has now been an absolute game changer, and it has taken our system with an edge to a system with an incredible edge, and that is we've now added a hedge bot, which means that everything that our Titan is doing, we have a hedge bot doing the opposite. So when Titan is taking a trade, the hedge bot is doing the exact opposite. So if Titan is buying, the hedge bot is selling. You can see over here, this is my Pepperstone account. This is where my hedge bot is connected to, and it's actual live funds. I put in $1,500 before I started this challenge to essentially make money if my challenge is going badly. So, you know, we have a pass rate of about 30% with Titan X. Now, some people might say, you know, 30% is not great, but to put that into perspective, guys, the best manual trader with prop firms has, I think, somewhere around a 20% pass rate. The best manual trader. So, you know, for us to have a 30%, we're not doing too bad at all. But the cool thing now is with our hedge bot, we used to essentially just look at making back the challenge fee. So let's say I spent $400 to buy a $100,000 account. That was my challenge fee, $400. So all I'm looking for on my hedge account is to make that $400 back, so that if I fail, I can just buy back into the challenge and we keep going, right? So that's the idea. But now we've gone one further. We are now actually getting to a point where we're over hedging. So we're now saying, actually, why don't we ask for more? Why don't we try and recover more? And that's exactly what we're doing. So for me, I look at recovering around $900 every time I fail, which means I not only make my $400 buy-in back, I go back, I buy again, but I also make around $400 to $500 profit. That's right, I'm making profit when I actually lose a challenge, which is incredible. So this is our system, and if you want more information, go back to Adam's recent videos. I'm going to leave the links over here where he explains the system a lot more and in a lot more detail, but I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm not going to go into the nitty-gritties of it all, but he does an incredible job of explaining it all. So make sure you go and watch that. The point of me talking about this is our system. This is my system with an edge, right? So now what's the next step is obviously we need capital. So capital is prop firms. We're using the prop firms. We're using it to actually trade with the prop firms, right? So the next is how long is it going to take? So we actually give our clients, our customers, a few calculators that they can help work all of this stuff out. So we're going to look at that now. Okay, so the first one we give them is this HedgeBot potential profit calculator. Okay, so basically I now know that I'm looking to make about $5,000. That's my minimum. I want $5,000 $1,000 per month to get to a point that I can say, okay, I'm quitting my day job. So how do I do that? So I'm looking at taking $100,000 challenges. That's the size I want to take. You can do 50,000, 25 if you want. It all depends on, what your goal is and how quickly you want to get there. So the next thing is, on average, over all the challenges I've taken, I look at about a $400 average for my challenge cost. And I'm just going to put in 2-phase. I have been taking a lot of single phase recently, but we're just going to look at the 2-phase for the time being. My funded rate is around 30%. Actually, currently, I've just started a series, which I'm going to talk about, where my funded rate is actually around 50%. But on a whole, all of the challenges and even a lot of the guys in the group that are taking, we're looking at about a 30% funded rate. Then we look at the average days, which is 30, challenge running time. So challenges running at a time, I'm just going to put in 2 there to start off with, and then payouts per month with 2, because most of the time you get bi-weekly payouts. So that means twice a month you can get paid from one account. Your profit split is 80%. I'm only looking for 2% profit from my funded accounts. As soon as I hit that 2%, I take the money and I just set it off again. Now, based on that 2%, in my experience with my accounts, I've been hitting that 80% of the time, which means 80% of the time I'm getting that profit. The other 20% I'm actually losing my funded account, which doesn't matter, because with our system, once you've got a funded account, it's essentially house money. You are now trading with a funded account that has not cost you anything. So I don't mind losing funded accounts. And that's the great thing about this system, is you don't really mind losing the money. So those are the numbers that we put in. And then it gives you an average of what your profit would be. So first month, second month, all the way to the, full year, you'd be looking at getting to about $2,500 if you were running 2 accounts at a time. So that's not quite there for me. So let's have a look. If I were to put in 4, there we go. So 4, I'm now getting to that $5,000 per month. So now I know already how many challenges I need to be taking. You start from ground zero. How much do I need? You slowly start building upon that. You use the calculators that we give you guys to actually work all of this stuff out, right? So now I know I need to be taking 4 challenges at a time. Now for me, I recently started a series where I actually reset and I started again to show you this in action. So if you haven't seen that series, make sure you go and look. I'm going to leave a link to that. It's going to be somewhere over here where you can jump to see the episode 1 of that series, where I also explain everything there. And you'll see a lot of the sheets that I'm using here. So make sure you go and watch that, because I'm resetting and I used all of this. And in that, I am looking for $5,000 a month. So now I know that I'll be getting to that in about 8 months time. I'll be looking at getting an average of that, right? So I now know the number. Now I just want to show you the other calculator that we give as well. Is we give this HedgeBot calculator, which is basically what you would be using to show, give your recovery amount. This is for a single phase. I'll just show you guys. So again, you've got your challenge size, your challenge cost, $400, the initial phase 1 deposit. So this is for your actual hedging account. So you're putting in all your information there. And over here, you're basically putting in what you want to recover. Now we would used to, in the past, we just would try recover that $400, right? The challenge cost. But now you can say 1,000. I want to recover $1,000. So the more you're trying to recover here, the more you have to have in your funded account, right? In your live hedge account. So if you're saying, I want to recover 2,000, you're going to have to make sure you have about $3,000, $4,000, possibly even $5,000 in that. But it is possible. It all depends on what you want to do. I look at about $900 recovery. That means I recover my $400 and I normally have around $400 to $500 profit on top of that. So another great calculator you can use. So now we know we need 4 challenges at a time. So let's quickly jump over to this over here, which is another little flow chart that I had done for my series, where it's basically the goal to getting 4 running accounts, right? So this is your next step. How do I actually get to that point? So you can just start with any prop firm, and these are the 2 different routes you're going to take, right? So you would either fail, which case you'd make back your challenge fee plus that $500 profit, and then you would basically start the prop firm again. And once running 4 accounts, you could actually get to a point when even if you're failing all 4 of those challenges in 1 month, you could potentially be making around $2,000 for 4 failed accounts, because they're $500 profit you're making every time. That's how that would work. You would basically just keep doing this until you get a funded account. Once you get a funded account, you're building your way up to the 4 funded accounts. So the other thing that would happen is you would keep doing this until you would either pass and get to that first payout. So what that means is normally normally you would go through phase 1, phase 2, and then you would go to a funded account. You would still keep your hedge bot on running. For your first profit target while you're funded, you'll still keep your hedge bot on, and you'd normally end up making about $500 profit after that first, where you're looking for about 2 to 3%, and then you turn your hedge bot off and you're essentially only looking for 2% thereafter. So you'd be looking at 2%, $1,800 profit, and you would just keep repeating. You'd start your second. I've got an EA challenge there because that's what I was looking at starting with, just because it's a single phase. But you can, whatever you're doing there, whatever challenge you're doing, you start your second challenge, repeat. You keep repeating this until you've got 4 challenges running. So that's the other way that could happen. Now, at any stage here, you could actually end up failing, in which case you would still go back and buy back in, and the whole process starts again. So this is another little diagram that I did to show how it works. So that's our system, guys. It's very, very, very straightforward. So let's recap, guys. We've looked at what it is that you need to look at. You need to look at how much you want to make, what's your edge, capital, and how long it's going to take you. And then I showed you that my edge was using our incredible system, the prop farming blueprint, which, by the way, has actually got over 1,000 of our community members funded with prop firms. Yes, you heard me correctly. 1,000 of our members have been funded using this system. So that just shows how blimmin' awesome it actually is. The next thing would be capital. You've got the system, you're using our Blue Edge system. Capital is prop firms. Obviously, you're making prop firms, and then how long is it going to take? You would work it out. We give you all the calculators. You work out how long it's going to take. You just have to press play, keep pressing play. And the cool thing about our system is it's based on what you are willing to put in, right? If you are willing to put in enough that you can actually run 10 accounts at a time, you could get to a point where you're making upwards of $10,000 fairly quickly. You can, really get the ball rolling. And we've got a few people in our community that have actually started running this like a business. They look at this like a business. So yes, you're looking at, using this to take over what your day job is. But if you're doing this properly, it's like you're running your own business. You do this properly, it's going to generate enough money to, give you that financial freedom. Now, if you are interested in this, guys, please go to www.propfarming.com. Have a look at the demo there. We've got a form you can fill in, and one of our sales staff will contact you and take it from there. And who knows, you guys can be actually getting to a point where you are quitting your day job within the next year's time. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please just like it. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to the channel because we've got a lot of cool content coming out. Like I said, I've got that series ongoing. So if you're subscribed, you're going to get notified every time I do a new one. We're currently on 5 challenges at a time, building our way up. And I think within the next few months, we're actually going to hit our $5,000 a month. So definitely something worth subscribing for. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to love and leave you and wish you all the best in your trading endeavors. Bye for now.